Hello and welcome to the Discover History YouTube channel. And tonight we're going to give you the answer to our Monday mystery. So if you remember, this is our Monday mystery. So we asked you on Monday what this object was. And obviously it's made in layers, as you can see, individual layers. And it's been made by an individual who's taken a bundle of straw, twisted it slightly, held it all together, and then they were tied and then hand woven or stitched together with further twine as such, really. And as I mentioned, it was hollow, so very much like a basket, and there is a small hole in the side of it like this. And as I mentioned, I said, is it for collecting berries, for example? Is it for holding string so you can pull it out the hole and therefore cut the string? And I even said, or is it an ancient Egyptian helmet, a form of helmet made from straw? Because what you have to remember, the ancient people often used straw and things like that for armour. So could it be an ancient Egyptian or an ancient civilization helmet? The only problem is it only has vision through one eye. The truth of it is, it's actually something known as a bee skep, and it's something that originated a very, very, very long time ago. They were extremely popular in the Middle Ages, but the interesting thing is, at one point, they were actually licensed. So you had to have a license in the Middle Ages at one point to own one of these. And that's really down to the fact that a bee skep or a skep was used to house the bees. So what you do is you place these in a sheltered part of a garden, and you either introduce a hive to it, or hopefully you'll get a swarm come down to it and they will set up their home in there. And because it's made out of straw, it's a natural insulator basically, and they will formulate a hive just inside there. Now if you have a look on, for example, Google or something like that, and look up bee skeps, you will actually see a completely full one which has a number of individual honeycombs actually forming inside. So they're ancient really, but as I said, this is a replica of a medieval bee skep, and like I said, they're very, very important, to the point that they were licensed at one point. Now we did have some correct answers. For example, when I rang my mom earlier this evening, she actually said, I think it could be something to do with bees, because she had actually seen it on a little jar of honey, and she was right in getting that one. There was also someone called Christopher Denton Hall, you also got it right, and also Nigel from Worcester. You are the three that actually got the correct answer for it being a bee skep basically. Now if we turn back the clock to the Middle Ages, people generally, especially the upper classes, were generally self-sufficient. So you'd have your vegetable garden, you'd have your herb garden, and remember, herbs were used for culinary reasons. They were also used for medicinal purposes and just for having around the house to take away any nasty smells. But then there was also things such as a pigsty, and most people had pigs. Even the lower classes had pigs. For the upper classes, there were deer parks, there was dovecots, as we mentioned in a previous video, and there was also fish ponds, for example, in rabbit warrens. All these things made people very self-sufficient years ago. So the beehive was very, very important, because once you've got a hive in there and the bees have made their honeycombs in there, they are very, very useful, because as we know even today, there are medicinal properties to honey, and I know for a fact there's quite a few medieval recipes for poultices, for example, that included drizzling honey into wounds, which is very good for drawing out toxins, for example, if a wound starts to go slightly odd, shall we say, really. It's nature's sweetener. Even before sugar came to Britain, right back in the Middle Ages, honey was the only sweetener that people had. So as I said, this important luxury item as such was really licensed at one point to prevent it being used by everyone. And the other thing, obviously, the home of the bees itself can be very carefully cleaned and melted down and turned into very, very expensive beeswax candles. And if you look through the playlist, we did talk about bees, and we did have a look at lighting, for example, in the past, including looking at candles. So very simply, the answer is it's called a skep or a bee skep, and it's the home that you use for bees. They're not used anymore as such really today, because the problem is, to get the honey out of them, you do have to destroy the home of the bees. Whereas obviously if you see a wooden hive today, they tend to have wooden slats that are slid out, and then you can take the honey from them. Problem with this, you do have to destroy the whole hive to actually get what you need from it really. So it's quite a sad thing. Not only that, it's good practice now in beekeeping that you need to keep an eye on the hive to see if there are any problems with the hive. For example, if there are any intruders in there and things like that. And the problem is, when these are resting on the ground in a quiet garden, you can't really see what's going on inside them. So really they're not used as they used to be as such really. So hopefully that's been a little bit of fun. If you want some more Monday mysteries, do let us know. Remember, this is as much your channel as it is ours. So anyway, well done for those three that got it right, especially my mom who answered it correctly. So keep a lookout. There may be another Monday mystery coming soon. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.